Hi guys, good morning to another day of another quick analysis of US30. So today is the 12th of December, and I'm going to do a quick dive into US30. I'm going to delete everything that we have marked up for last week. I'm going to do a fresh one. But having said that, before I do that, I thought I'll show you guys a trade that I took on Friday and how that went. So I came in here at the bullish pin bar, which the pin when it printed, and took it all the way up to the top of the zone, which we had already previously marked up. Obviously, it went up a bit more, but I literally had just set it. So this was like a 4 point risk to reward ratio of 4.31. And so 69 pips in total profit and 16 pips in stop loss. So this was a very tight trade, but it worked out really well with literally no drawdown whatsoever. And I was really out of the trade. And the next time I came back and looked at the market, this is what had happened. So I'm just going to delete this so that it's not hovering there. Literally, this had happened. A lot of news took it out on 1:30. And I did see Forex Factory. So I've told you guys before, always check the news. So that was my Forex Factory at 1:30 in UK time. And literally, this happened. Now, what I don't like about this kind of candles, especially if they had moved really fast, it's a 5 minutes candle, so obviously it moved really fast. It's like, imagine. So I'm going to show you guys this. So if let's say we didn't see news, right? And I know people who trade the news. I typically am making it a habit. I used to get really, really burned by it. And I'm trying to make that a habit right now to kind of either get in and out before news or get in after 2:30, 3 o'clock when news actually is overall finished. You know what I'm saying? And regardless whether there's news printed on at 2:30, I'm talking about UK time, guys. So you guys got to do your conversion regardless of news during those periods. At 2:30, when market really opens for New York session, you can actually see spikes happening with US30. So typically, I try to be out of a trade now, like recently, right? I try to be out of a trade by 2:30, or I am only going into a trade after that period because let everything happen, let it all the spikes happen, and then I just wait for another entry again patiently because I've been burned so many times. And I'll tell you guys, so this was another re-entry candle right here. Look, like if I had seen this, possibility is I might have gone in because it went up, small retracement, and then I would have assumed that it's gonna go back up again, at least to go back further than that. And might not have been a lot of pips, but I would have at least been in profit, right? It did go up, so if we had taken this trade, we would have been in a slight profit, and then two candles down, 10 minutes later, this happens. Now, the thing I don't like about these candles is that even though I would have had a stop loss, which is relatively small, because these candles move so fast, the market does not have the time to execute your stop, you know? So what it does is it takes you a lot more longer than you want to before it actually stops the trade for you. So I hate this when this happens because it's happened to me so many times, and I've ended up blowing funded accounts because of that. Because it is like really bad. Like it especially if it's such a small stop loss with a small profit. Obviously, the lot size is going to be a lot more bigger because you had planned for it, right? But then when such a thing really happens, it's sometimes beyond control, and regardless of whether you have a stop, no, of course, if you don't have a stop loss, you're gone. Like you would have to, unless your stop loss is like really huge. But by the way, I don't have such huge stop losses. Like I typically don't do it, so my stop loss would have been so tight. So even if I had a stop loss right here, I would have been really taken out just because of how fast this candle moved. You guys feel me? So this was a trade. Like I was damn lucky I didn't go in, but if I had gone in, I would have lost a lot on this trade just because of this news. Okay, so that's that. Then there was another trade that set up which I didn't take because I was not watching the charts, and I know my alert did go off, but I did not see it. So again, I'm going to show you guys how I set my alert, which I already have one set actually. So you go to the pin bar indicator because you want an alert every time a pin bar is printing, right? You go here, you go to the triple dot here, and you say add alert and whichever time frame, right? Because just because you set an alert once does not mean it's going to work on all time frames. It doesn't. So I'm on a 5 minute right now, and it's a pin bar crossing, and I go to value and I'm going to say pin bar. Okay, and you're saying only once or once per bar or once per bar close. You can choose. Mine at the moment is currently set to once per bar close because it's a 5 minute candle. It's like whenever it's like forming and it is kind of printing, but maybe it might close without a print. But because it's doing that, it's like, how would I say, it's giving me too many beeps, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, when I have a look at it, it may actually close without a print. So what I've done now is I put once per bar close. So the minute it closes and it's printing with a bullish pin bar or a bearish pin bar, it's going to set an alert. Now there's a risk in that one because what happens is the minute that prints and closes, you have the next candle. By right, that should have been your entry. Having said that, the next candle might actually fly without you. So if you are far away from your computer or your phone and you are not watching the trade and you are not ready for the trade, which means that prior to even the alerts going off, you haven't done your analysis, you don't know if you should go in or not, then you should not go in because you haven't done your analysis as to whether that's the right signal or not. Because you cannot be entering in every signal, guys. Okay, so I have that on, but I'm actively kind of in my head waiting for a signal to print before I can actually go in. So the thing about this is most of the time I do have my screens in front in my place in my workstation. But having said that, if I'm away and I've missed the trade, like the next candle was really fast and it moved without me and I'm already a couple of pips up, now you have to make an informed decision whether you want to have a late entry or not, because the more you have the late entry, the more your stop loss is going to be bigger right now. Okay, so that's how you set it, and then you put create. Okay, and you can do the same for other time frames. But for other time frames, I would actually put like once per bar, for example, just because you want to have an alert way earlier, so that you have time to kind of how would I say? Actually, you can put once per bar close as well. 1 hour doesn't really matter. You got time for the thing to play out. To be fair, so this is where I have it at the moment, and I'm testing it. But like I said, you guys can make a decision. But anyway, let's come back to this. You can see it's going on a downtrend very beautifully. It is fanning out. Like you have oops, hold on. This is annoying. I want it to go up now. Why is it going not up? Bear with me, guys. I want to try and minimize this, but I don't understand why it's not doing it. There we go. Okay. You have a bullish pin bar print here. It could be the end or reversal of a trend. Having said that, it's not a place for you to go in, guys. Look at all the moving averages. They are not fanning in the direction you need it to be fanning for you to take a buy. So literally in this section here, it's only a sell. Look for the right signal and go in for a sell. And look at this printed right here and look at the amount of pips you literally could have caught without much drawdown. The drawdown is only these two candles, which is not really a lot to be fair. So if you had, I didn't take it because I was not watching it, but this would have been a nice entry. So if you had gone in here, stop loss would have been here, 51 pips. Just look at it. If you have ridden it all the way, let's say to this red candle, that's 275 pips, guys. Okay, and then after that, he started consolidating, and then he's just doing, and then he started going up. Now, this is another one. Now, this happened just a while ago. You had all this, the 10, 21, 15 moving average fanning out, and you had a bullish pin bar print. Again, not a signal to go because the overall trend direction with the 200 moving average is showing a sell, guys. All right, so this, sometimes being impatient and taking wrong entries can cost you a lot. Look at this, the next candle. Like that's insane. Like totally like it's crazy insane. Yeah, that's over 200, it's about 250 pips ish. Right. But that's horrible. So please be very patient for all the moving averages to line up if you're following this strategy before you actually go in. And having said that, sometimes even when they're lining up, this can happen. And it's just one of those things really. But yeah. So be very careful when you're trading. That's trading at the end of the day. Okay, so I am actually going to go to the daily and I'm actually going to delete everything because we don't want any of this. markings. We like a naked chart, don't we? Do you know what I'm saying? Like we want to have, do you know what? My indicators are really just playing up today. I don't know what is it, but why is my pin bar? Okay, there we go. All right, now let's have a look. So I had an alert set here, which I'm going to delete because clearly it's moved away from that. Okay, there we go. Going to minimize it so we can have a look and see where we are. Okay, so we have already seen this bids it crossed above, so it's closed above here. So it could have been a fake out like what we have said. All right, having said that, this is the next. So if it breaks and goes below further, we are going to assume that it could be going on a downtrend back down again because there is, that's my box, a liquidity right here for the uptrend. Okay, so it came here to retest the box and so has this candle right here. Now I would draw a liquidity right there. Okay, so really guys, we are waiting to see what it does. So basically, we could consider this a fake out and this a retest candle and it's going to go back down. So again, this is what I'm assuming the price could possibly be doing, right? This could be another one here to the downside. Really, mm, I wouldn't really consider this bit a liquidity zone just because, yeah, I don't think so. No, I'm not going to force draw it, guys. So really, I believe that it could actually be going towards the down, to be honest. Um, yeah, let me just have a look at the weekly where we are. So literally, if you guys had seen, this would have been a liquidity zone at this area, you know. Like this is a very crucial zone if you guys can actually see this. Right, I'm gonna delete this box later just so that, yeah, over here, can you guys see? It's like this whole area here has been an area of retesting several times on a weekly. And price here was a liquidity. It came to fill the gap that's here. It went up. This could be a fake out, right? I would still wait for, so this could be a fake out. Can I move this here? There we go. And so then basically this is your retest candle. It possibly will go up a little bit more, okay, to touch this inside box or maybe even go up to this box here. So you probably a short-term buy and then basically to its downwards because we do have liquidity at the bottom. So we have to see what momentum is giving at the moment. It could literally go back up again and go on the on upward direction because this could be the fake out at the bottom. Right? So this is how I see it. Um Price basically doing a short-term buy and then going back down as of what I see at the moment. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to delete all of this just so that's not. Okay, so this is how I would draw this, and I'm just going to drop it down to an hour just to see what price is doing. And then I'm also going to draw my, oh, on up my Phoenix. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to daily, guys. And if you can see the Phoenix, it is still a buy on a daily. Okay, but like I said, this is a buy as an overall trend. It hasn't come down and broken structure yet, but I would be careful on just, assuming it's a buy, unless you're going to have like long stop losses and so on and so forth. All right. So I would just, like you can see, it's already close. It's in between the 10 and the 21 moving average. So I would just wait to see what it's doing at the moment. Now I would drop it down to the hour, and you can see an hour, it is giving you a sell, right? It's starting to fan out nicely, and so therefore it is doing a sell in the hour. Gonna drop it down to 15 again. Okay, now it did give a nice sell here, like you can see on Friday, and right now it's teetering between three moving averages, and I don't like that. So I will not, I'm just gonna wait to see what it's doing at this point, really. Okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, nothing is really setting up. It could literally just fly up the handle. So really, guys, this for me, I think price could go either direction at this point of time, and I would just patiently just wait because this is like rejections up there. So literally, I personally think price could just go back, touch this, and then come right back down. Or you could literally just do a flying all the way up as well. This could be the fake outs, you know. So really, as of now, I'm just going to be looking out for the moving averages. I'm not going to be drawing arrows just because it's going to get messy. But if you guys follow me, or you already know how I do it, so literally price would come back down and retest and go back down again, or price has already gone here, so it's just going to start dropping down. Or if you want price to go up, it's literally going to go up, come back, retest, and fly up. Okay, so again, it's not about whether we want it or not. It's really just watching what price is doing. And at this point of time, I don't see anything really setting up. And sometimes it could just be that uh, you just don't see it, you know? And so I would patiently just wait. Like I said, there is a liquidity zone right here for the upside, and prices come here to do rejection many times here. So literally, it could be going on the upside if we were to go on the liquidity zone based here. Okay, this is a bullish leg out. So literally, prices come down many times, done this and gone down. But having said that, it has also rejected the zone. It's not closed above the zone whatsoever. All right, it's not closed above the zone at all. So we just gotta wait and see. So if we want price to, if price is going to go up, guys, I'm gonna just draw it just so that you guys can understand. I swear. Uh, there we go. Okay, so price has to go up, come back for a retest. Oops. And then you're going to take it back up here at the entry if you're following the retest method, okay? And otherwise, it is basically going to just go up into the zone, right? And basically fly down. Oh, why is this moving? Okay, and it's going to come back for a retest. And this is your entry point here, and you're going to take it down. Okay, this is how I see it, guys, as what price could possibly do. This to me, because it did close below the zone, but it's not really a move down, like a proper move down, doesn't give me the bearish momentum at all at the moment. So I would not look at this as like, oh, it's going to go downward. No, I would actually wait for it to go further in, which it has, and then I'm going to wait for a nice bear move to come back down, and then wait for a retest candle. So that's what I'm really looking for on a higher time frame, guys. But having said that, I would keep a very close eye on the lower time frames just to see if we can get like short entries on the lower time frames just because it's starting to fan out. At the moment, none of the time frames are ready. I'm only looking at 5 minutes because I typically don't trade a minute. So I'm just going to wait for it to fan out nicely and see what it does, and then react accordingly to what market structure shows us. Right? So that's my analysis on US30. And just so I was thinking, like, once the new year starts, because over the next couple of 1 week or so, markets are going to start slowing down, and I'm probably not going to do much analysis videos just because I do not want to trade when there's not much of movements or there's like this kind of volatility in the markets. I am just going to wait for the New Year holidays to be over and then look at the markets. And I was thinking, like, I tend to trade US30 a lot, but I was also thinking that it would be nice to kind of look at maybe three pairs in the New Year. Like, so Monday is maybe US30, Tuesday could be USD JPY, and Wednesday maybe Euro USD for that matter. And then on Thursday US30 again, and then Thursday I mean Friday USD JPY again, maybe, and just so that we have more pairs that we are kind of keeping our eyes on, and we are studying those pairs really, really seriously, and we kind of see where they're going. And if we do have some time, we can throw in And, like for example, if I'm just doing US30 on a Friday or USDJPY on a Friday, we could have a look at Euro USD again just to see where it is at after our last analysis in the week. We could try something like that and see how that goes, because it's really interesting when you actually study a specific pair. You get so familiar with it, you kind of watch its movements, you know how it's going to move, you kind of anticipate the trend just because you study it so much and you know at what times it's going to move and so on and so forth, right? So maybe that's my plan for January to 2023, to look at maybe two more pairs. Because if we do one new pair every day, which is Monday to Friday, I feel like we don't have a time to revisit previous pairs to see how they actually performed based on analysis. So that's the reason I'm probably going to go for two or three pairs maximum. And let's just work with that and see how we get and how good we are with the analysis, and whether we can keep up with it. Because what I don't want to do is just give an analysis and then not touch the pair for a week, because that really doesn't, it defeats the whole purpose of me trying to attempt to study that pair, if that makes sense. So that's the plan for the new year, guys. Anyway, so happy trading today. At the moment, there's nothing really setting up on a short-term time frame, so I'm just gonna wait it out, and my alerts will go off when everything is ready, and I'm just gonna wait to see what really happens. All right, guys. So happy trading, and happy Monday, and see you guys tomorrow.